Happy Wednesday, everyone. Happy Wednesday. How's everybody doing? Let me know how you're doing. Welcome in, welcome on in, welcome on in. And let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. I got a story for y'all today. We talked briefly on it yesterday, but y'all come on up in here and let me know if y'all can hear me. I see hey y'all, but I don't see I can hear you yet. So she said, I'm at work doing well. How are you? Okay, that must mean y'all can hear me then. That must mean y'all can hear me. Okay. If y'all at work, just put your AirPods in and y'all gonna have to listen to this story right here. We spoke briefly about it yesterday, and I told y'all I wanted to bring y'all this story today, honey. All right. So I hope everybody is doing fine. I'm a little late because I wanted to do a little bit more research on this story in order to bring it to you because it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a whole lot about this story. All right. So this story is out of, I don't even really want to know. I don't even know what to say it's out of. It happened in Columbus, Ohio, even though the surgeon lives in Chicago. So do we want to say Chicago and Ohio drama? I don't know. Y'all let me know. But y'all come on in here and hit that thumbs up button for me, please and thank you. Please and thank you. Y'all hit that thumbs up. Hit that thumbs up. And y'all come on up in here. And let me know if my volume is fine. I went back and did a replay on my video yesterday, and it was a little spotty. Y'all need to tell me when it's spotty like that because I did not know. I was like, oh my goodness. I did not know it was spotty. All right, so we're going to get into this story. So today we are talking about a surgeon out of Chicago, y'all. A vascular surgeon at that. Before I get into this, anything that I say out of my mouth is based on my opinion and my opinion only. It's allegedly, okay? And everybody is innocent until proven guilty. So when I say things about this story, it's alleged, okay? Because he has not been found guilty or anything right now, but he has been charged and it's all alleged until they find him guilty, okay? So we are going to be talking about a story of a vascular surgeon out of Chicago that is being accused of killing his ex-wife and her new husband. And it's not even like him and his ex-wife just got a divorce. They've been divorced for 9 years, that just blows me. It really blows me. So let me give you guys a backstory. So y'all see the guy here looking all mad and frowning, right? His name is Michael McKee. He is a vascular surgeon. Hold on a second. I have my moderator calling me and find out what's going on. Hey, what's going on? Oh, thank you. Appreciate you. Okay, I wouldn't even know. Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you. So listen, y'all, my moderator told me, she said, before you even started oh my God. She said, before you even started your story, your goal has been met. Okay, hold on, y'all. Hold on. Let's celebrate. Hold on. Let me take this down, y'all. Oh, Lord. Oh, that looks crazy, don't it? But we're going to have to celebrate, baby. Let's celebrate right quick. Hold on. Celebration in less than 10 minutes. In less than 10 minutes. Thank y'all so much. Appreciate y'all for helping me reach my goal. Y'all just showing out for your girl, and I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much for helping me reach my goal. And y'all, I haven't even started the story. That's what I'm talking about, y'all. I haven't even started the story. Y'all tipping me just for being here. Listen, I do appreciate y'all because these type of stories don't always get the views, you know what I'm saying, or the watch hours. Some people ain't studying it, but I just find it interesting. And I really wanted to bring this story because I'm pretty sure somebody out there got a crazy ex, right? And you may think that they done moved on with their life and they ain't even studying you, okay? So this is not to scare anybody, but I want people to take heed. I really do. I want people to be careful. I want people to know that once crazy, probably always crazy. And just because you think they'd have moved on does not mean it, which means that don't get laxed. You know, I'm really bringing this story for a reason because I know people have crazy exes. I know people have people that's probably still looking for them to this day. And I just don't want anybody to get so lax and think, oh, I'm good now, right? This man waited 9 years and they say he's been trying to track her. And he waited 9 years and he found her. He tracked her down and he unalived her. And guess what? Just because he's moved on with his life and became successful, because when him and his wife was together, and we're going to go over this, he was only making $50,000 a year. This man is making 400,000 plus, and he still could not move on. He still couldn't let her go after 9 years. I don't understand that, but we're going to talk about it, okay? We're going to talk about it. This is the ex-husband, which is a vascular surgeon, y'all. And guess what? 15 years of training to become a vascular surgeon. And when I say 15 years, I'm saying between his schooling, his residency, and him working as a vascular surgeon, that's 15 years. Accumulative, 15 years. Now, he practiced medicine in multiple states, which I find this impressive, right? He practiced medicine in Ohio, California, Maryland, Virginia, Nevada, and Illinois, okay? So that's 6 different states he practiced in. So he could literally just fly out or wherever, whenever they needed somebody, and he could actually work there in 6 different states. That is very impressive. Now, y'all get this. This man, you would think someone that travels 5+ hours, drive 5+ hours to kill his ex-wife, right? You would think that this man had some type of criminal past. None. No criminal record. So don't think for a moment just because someone don't have a criminal record that they're safe. I hear this. I heard it quite a bit on social media, you know, Facebook, YouTube. Look at my record. My record is clear. I ain't got none on my record. I don't have anything on my record. She said, what's his name? His name is Michael McKee. Michael McKee. Dr. McKee is his name, out of Chicago, Illinois. Okay. He has no prior criminal record. So, you know, we always saying do background checks on a person, this, that, and the other. That may not all you need to do. You might need to do a background check and find out what school he went to and talk to some of his neighbors and whatnot. But they didn't even know. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Okay. So no criminal record, no known public social media presence. He didn't even do social media. No dating profile. These people went and did extensive research and found out he's not on Tinder. He's not on, I don't even know all the sites. Plenty of Fish, or y'all tell me, and I don't know the name of the sites, y'all. I've been out of the game. I remember Black People Meet, but I don't think he would have been on Black People Meet. But he's not on no dating or romantic partner websites or anything, right? And they have nobody that has come forward and said that they dated this man. So he has no ex-girlfriends, no ex-lovers. They have went out and searched these things. The real journalists, I'm just a blogger. I'm not a journalist. Y'all know the journalists dig real deep, right? They went out looking for anybody that he's dated, and they have found 0 romantic partners, okay? No one has come forward and said, I used to date this guy, and he was kind of cuckoo for Cocoa Puff. No one has even admitted to dating him at all, okay? Now, he was also described by neighbors as nice, professional, and quiet, okay? And even people that he's worked with. He was a nice guy. He was just a nice doctor. Now, y'all know to be a vascular surgeon at a hospital, you know women were throwing their panties at this man. They were throwing their panties. Thank you so much, Barbara, for making some, you know, pretty beautiful up in here, making it look like Christmas amongst other chats. Thank you so very much. I do appreciate your support thoroughly. So his neighbors, people that he's worked with said he's a nice guy, very professional, very quiet, don't cause no problems. He speaks in the morning, afternoon, good night. He said, listen, He's a man that said, good morning, how are you, right? He worked at a children's medical facility in Rockford, Illinois. But guess what? After, and I'm going to show you a video in a minute, but after he was known to be the suspect in this murder, that hospital that he worked for, in Rockford, Illinois, the children's hospital, they completely scrubbed him from their website after he was arrested. So there is nothing that's tying him to any facility in Illinois. Let me tell you, people want to protect their businesses, right? So when they find out that you have been arrested, even accused, they don't even care if you're guilty or not. But if you've been accused of doing something like this, baby, they're about to disconnect from you. That's just how important that you really are to these employers, right? They will definitely disconnect from you. All right. Somebody said no sound. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear me. Somebody said there is no sound. Your voice went out twice. Hold on. Can you guys hear me? Hold on. They said no sound. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Okay, some people saying they can hear me. Did my voice go out? I'm literally sitting right in front of the mic. Let me put it back a little bit just in case. All right, can y'all still hear me now? I kind of like put it back a little bit. Just, because it's touch tone, and sometimes if I touch it, it may act funny. So you guys can hear me now? Okay. Go out and come back in. For the people that can't hear me, you may have to go out and just come back in for a second, okay? All right, let's put this couple and Michael back up here for a second, okay? All right. The sound must be on my end. Yeah, just go out and come back in. Just go out, Jamie, and come back in, baby. All right, so they disconnect from you. They don't want no problems, all right? None whatsoever. So I want to show this video right here, right quick, and then we're going to continue to talk about this case. But the reason why I want to show you this video, because I want to show you initially, they did not know who killed this couple, okay? The couple was discovered by a friend of theirs, a friend of the people that's unalive. And I want you guys to listen to this because it's just a shame how he thought he was going to get away with it, okay? All right, here we go.
DNA or fingerprints. We haven't heard anything about DNA or fingerprints, gunshot residue, anything placing him inside the residence at the time of the killings.
Defense attorney Brad Koffel discussing a lot of the unknowns in the Tepe murder case with me. He has not been retained by Michael McKee, the ex-husband of Monique Tepe, now locked up in a Winnebago County jail, accused of killing.
You know what? I fail, y'all. I'm so sorry. So the wife name, the woman in his right here is Monique. And this is the dentist. Let me find out his name right quick. The dentist's name is Monique, and I know it's okay, Spencer. Monique and Spencer Tepe. So this is the couple. The beautiful couple y'all see in this photo is Monique and Spencer Tepe. Let me tell you a little bit about them before we listen to this footage. They are a married couple and they have 2 children, okay? They were unalive in their home while their kids was sleeping upstairs, okay? Now, they say that this was not a random violence. It was a targeted pum, okay? Now, let me tell you a little bit more. The guy right here, the accused murderer, him and Monique were only married for like 2 years total. They got married in 2015. The divorce was 2017. However, they were married and separated after only 7 months. 7 months they separated. She filed for a divorce after 15 months. And she just said, listen, we're just not compatible. She didn't tell the whole thing of what was really going on, but we're going to find out some things, in a few minutes. But she literally just said, we're not compatible. But for someone to throw the towel in after 7 months, yeah, something really was going wrong in that house, okay? So I want to just tell you that right quick. Now let's listen back to the video, okay? All right, here we go. Let's get back to the video, and he's going to go a little bit about how things start.
Her and her husband.
Countless bad bumble dates, wrong relationships, and waterfalls of tears.
Our newsroom obtained the divorce file between Monique and Michael McKee. It states she was granted the divorce on grounds the parties were incompatible.
There's a prior relationship and divorce history and some disputes, but those are not elements of murder.
In fact, Columbus police have not yet released a motive, posting on social media as to not compromise the active and ongoing investigation.
It's a big jump from a doctor in Illinois, surgeon in Illinois, driving across state lines like this to commit double murder and then drive back.
Columbus police releasing this surveillance video Monday, showing a person in a dark hoodie walking through the alley near the Tepe home between 2 and 5 a.m. The court documents we obtained show the time of the killings as 3:52 a.m. However, CPD has not confirmed if McKee is the person in this video. These court documents read the suspect was traced through a car that arrived just before and left just after the murders. That car linked to McKee. Detectives found it in Rockford, Illinois, and say it was in his possession both before and after their deaths.
Did he confess? Are there any eyewitnesses?
Koffel reminding us the state has to prove McKee is guilty beyond a reasonable doubt.
And then forensic extraction of the cell phone devices. What type of communication was going on with the ex-wife and the...
So as you hear what this defense attorney is saying, that they got to do a lot to prove that he's the killer. The car traced back to him, but they got to put other things together. And I think they have, because I did see a press conference where they raided his home. They found weapons, and one of the weapons, man, he got to be the dumbest doctor in the world. One of the weapons did link back to them. We're going to show that video in just a second.
The suspect.
When you have a high-profile case such as this, does that pose any problems or challenges for the prosecutor's office or these coordinating agencies as they look to bring him back to Ohio?
There's a lot that the public and the prosecutors, and especially the investigators, are going to need to tighten up any unexplained gaps, and then the forensic scene. So I think it's a good exercise for everyone just to pump the brakes here a little bit.
Okay, so right there, I wanted you guys to see that video. Let's go back to it right quick.
Time of the kill.
So this video right here, they captured. Now, of course,
CPD has not confirmed.
Of course, this guy is walking outside or whatever. Hold on, let's go back to it. It's like 2 something in the morning, or 3 something in the morning, I'm sorry. They catches this on camera. Whoever it is, they hood it up, so you can't tell who it is. But they just popped both of the couples. They just literally committed a double murder. But they found the car that the person came in, and that car linked back to the ex-husband. I understand why people think they don't have cameras. And so they said, now I'm gonna show you guys another video right quick, but they said that the car, they're going to literally trace from Illinois all the way to Ohio. They're gonna do that through cameras, tolls, and gas stations, and all of this or whatever, to pinpoint his location to Ohio. They say they're going to do that. All right, I do want to show you this press conference before we get back into the story. Here it goes right here. I think this is the Ohio Police Department. Let's listen to him. Okay, hold on 1 second. Here we go.
Field reporter. The ex-husband charged in the murders of Dr. Spencer and Monique Tepe is expected in court today. Court TV field reporter Cody Thomas is live for us in Columbus, Ohio. He's outside of the Franklin County Municipal Courthouse this morning. Cody, good morning to you. Share with us, please, the latest on defendant Michael McKee.
Well, good morning to you too, Julie. Yeah, crazy story after a 10-day manhunt. Michael McKee arrested. This is Monique Tepe's ex.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to tell y'all. It took, well, I thought it was 11, but he just said 10 to 11 days to even track him down, to find out who he was and where he was. Now, when the couple turned up unalived, how they found out was one of the friends was calling Spencer, right? One of his buddies kept calling, and Spencer didn't answer the phone. Now, mind you, the kids are in the house upstairs, right? But they're in their room, and there's like a little kid gate to where they can't come out, right? They couldn't come out their room. And I guess this is just word to the wise. I think that we need to be careful with that, okay? Putting the gate up like that. And the reason why I say that is because if the friend would not have went to the house, then the kids could have been there for a very, very long time, just trapped in their room. Now, I don't know if they could have came downstairs, anything would have happened. But nevertheless, the kids are upstairs trapped in their room because of a childproof gate, right? And the friend is calling. No one is answering the phone. So they just say, you know what? I'm going to go check up on him. And when they checked up on him, that is when they found out that he was deceased. What a way. And he called the police directly from the house. But what a way for a friend to find out what's going on with you, right? That is absolutely crazy. All right, let's continue.
Husband arrested for the double murders of Spencer and Monique. And here's the kicker, Julie. According to court documents, police say they saw Michael's car in the area shortly before the murders and then leave shortly after. All of that caught on surveillance. And then they eventually tracked that car all the way back up to Rockford, Illinois. And as you mentioned in your opening statement, Julie, he is a vascular surgeon in Illinois and Chicago, to be exact. So just a very horrific story here. Now, he has a court appearance set today. Now, he had to appear in Illinois first because they had to start the formal extradition process. And then he'll come right here behind me in Columbus, Ohio, to the Franklin County Municipal Court, where a bond will be set. And then this case will move on to a grand jury to see if any more charges will be filed. And then he'll be in court for there, and then he'll have to go to a grand jury for a potential indictment to see if those additional charges will be filed, Julie.
Right, Cody. Cody, any particulars, if you know, about what time we expect him to make the appearance and when the extradition process is expected to get underway?
Well, I was reading and researching. He said he had to make his first appearance in Illinois, of course, before being extradited down here. Now, that hearing was scheduled for this morning, so it could be any day this week or even later this afternoon, depending on how quickly that goes up in Illinois before he gets down here to Columbus, Julie. But again, he has to go through there, then it goes to that grand jury to see if more additional charges will come on. But very horrific story, Julie. And you know, it's very interesting because the house had no signs of forced entry. Now, it was one of those houses that had a keypad, a key code to get into the front door. So that begs the question, how did he get inside this?
And that's another thing. They do not know how he got in, which is crazy because like you just heard, there was no sign of forced entry, right? So no sign of forced entry. So they don't even know how he got in the house. All right. So let's continue right quick. Somebody said, how old were the kids? I don't know the exact age, but I'll find out for you. I just know that they were small children. And another question was, how long were they in the house? I don't know that either, but I will find out. But I want to say at least a day or two. Okay. I know it wasn't no 10 days or anything like that. I think it was like a day or two, but let me find out. Okay.
House.
Right, Cody, certainly one of the most troubling questions in this case. Someone had to have known that code in order to enter. So if it was Monique Tepe's ex-husband who did this, how then did he get the code? Cody, I understand that there was an opportunity for friends and family to pay their respects for Dr. Spencer and Monique Tepe on Sunday. Tell us.
Thank you, Ms. Fee. The kids were 4 and 1 years old. 4 and 1. Thank you so much, Ms. Fee. Appreciate that.
Please, a little bit about what happened.
Absolutely, Julie. You know, this community just really shaken by this because this is an up and coming community in Columbus, Ohio, in the Wineland Park area. They lived in a beautiful home.
Okay, so I thought this was the video. Let me grab the right video, y'all. I thought this was the video of the police, the Ohio police talking about it. Okay, so let's get back to that video of them actually explaining how they caught this guy or how they are pinning him to be the killer, okay? Because they raided his home as well, all right? So let me grab that video. But before I do, let's go and talk about it a little bit more. So anyway, Michael, the guy that y'all see right here, let's take this down. The family members came forward. They said they didn't want to in the beginning because they said they didn't want to jeopardize the case. They didn't want to like just start accusing him and then it jeopardized the case. Basically, they just wanted the cops to do their damn job. Okay. So after they arrested him, then they came forward and started talking. And they said in the marriage, there was emotional abuse going on. Okay. And a lot of people probably don't think emotional abuse is a very big sign of danger, but it is, because that's where it starts. Emotional abuse is where it starts, and then it starts escalating over time if it's not nipped in the bud or if you don't get the hell out of Dodge. You know what I'm saying? So it started off as emotional abuse, and as you see, she left him 7 months into the marriage, and she filed for a divorce 15 months later. So everybody don't stay 20, 30, 50 years and take that bullshit, right? So the family said it was an emotional abuse. And then it said that this guy, Michael, allegedly made multiple death threats to her. Multiple, okay? It said the abuse that she received, it impacted her long after the divorce, okay? Now, it doesn't say that he physically abused her, but it does say emotionally abused her. And we talked about that on this panel several times, that emotional abuse, those scars, right, the unseen scars, typically last a whole lot longer than any physical abuse that you can endure, all right? A lot of people don't realize that, but that emotional abuse lingers. It stays with you for a long, long time. And that's what they're saying. They said the abuse that she endured, it impacted her long after her divorce, all right? And again, it said the family stayed silent initially to protect the investigation. Then it said the second family member came forth to collaborate the threats that she received on her life. So this man was literally sending her death threats, okay? Now, it said the death threats in intimate relationships are a major signal of lethal violence. So if you are in a relationship, it's like a major red flag. If you are in a relationship where you do have a man or woman that's saying that they're going to KI you one day, I'm going to KI you, I'm going to end your life, I'm going to take you out of here, however they said. If you are involved in a relationship like that, they said that is a major indicator of lethal violence, either right then and there or in the future. So don't take that lightly. If someone that you are involved with, if they are threatening to end your life, you really need to take that serious, okay? So as we saw just now in this video that we just watched, in her wedding vows that she took to Spencer, she said some things that now people are tuning in on. She said she was in wrong relationships and she had waterfalls of tears, all right? And as she was reading this to her husband, she began to become visibly emotional and she cried the entire time through her vows. So journalist is saying that was a big sign that she was basically saying that she was in a wrong relationship with this guy, her ex-husband, Michael McKees, okay? And she had waterfalls of tears. So they're linking that back to her first marriage, right? Now, forensic experts says that she literally went through a lot of trauma with him, and the tears during her vows, she was just recalling the trauma, okay? She was emotionally processing of surviving the abuse of her ex-husband, all right? And the tears was also a sign of relief and gratitude that she had now found a man that she didn't have to worry about going through that with, okay? Now, I don't know if I told you, but her new husband, this sexy man that you see in the photo, Spencer, he's a dentist. He's a dentist. So she was married to a vascular abusive ass surgeon, and she basically upgraded to a dentist. And I say upgrade because, baby, it doesn't matter how much money you make, honey. But if you got a man emotionally abusing you and you get out of that relationship and you get into a relationship with a man that's loving you the right way, baby, that's an upgrade, okay? It doesn't matter what the paychecks say. So let's turn to another video right quick to this one right here. Let's go to this one.
Learning more about the man charged with murdering his ex-wife. Monique Tepe and her husband Spencer. Michael David McKee, a Chicago-based vascular surgeon, was arrested without incident on Saturday. According to police, 10 days after the Tepes were found shot dead in their Columbus, Ohio home.
He appears dead. Big blood.
According to police, investigators located 3 shell casings.
So that the voice that you just heard on that 911 call is the friend, and I do believe they're going to play the whole thing. So let's listen.
Oh.
He appears dead. Big blood.
According to police, investigators located 3 shell casings at the scene. The Tepes' 2 children, ages 4 and 1, were also found unharmed inside the house.
I can hear kids inside.
Days after the double homicide, police released this footage of a so-called person of interest seen in the area of the Tepes' home around the time of the murders. According to court documents, investigators tracked a suspect to a vehicle which arrived prior to the homicide and left shortly after the homicide. Adding, they later located the vehicle in Rockford, Illinois, and linked it to Michael McKee. Video shot today by a resident shows a police officer guarding the door to McKee's luxury apartment in Chicago. A neighbor tells NBC News McKee moved into the building over the summer and kept a low profile.
He seemed like a very nice guy, just a normal person. He wasn't nervous. He wasn't jittery. He wasn't looking every which way. He looked me straight in the face and smiled when we were talking.
Court records show McKee and Monique Tepe divorced in 2017 after roughly 2 years of marriage.
Monique left the marriage and did not look back.
Phyllis Williams is close friends with Monique's mom. Today, she was among the loved ones attending the Tepes' funeral. The couple remembered as warm, generous, and kind.
Monique was a very beautiful soul. She and Spencer loved each other dearly, and they were soulmates.
As for McKee, his extradition hearing is scheduled for tomorrow here in Rockford with an arraignment to follow in Ohio. It's unclear if he has legal representation at this time. Hallie?
We thank you for watching.
That's absolutely crazy. So, you know, I'm going to assume that this man became very jealous and continued to track her after the divorce was over. He continued to like watch her, stalk her, and surveillance her, right? He did have residency in Ohio and Chicago. So I'm assuming that this man knew where she lived. Obviously he did. And he literally stalked her. He watched her and she probably did not even know it. Okay. So let's continue. All right. So he took a road trip, you guys. It's alleged that he drove all the way from northern Illinois down to Columbus, Ohio, which is approximately anywhere from 5.5 to 7 hours each way. Each way. So when you add in the stopping at the gas stations, the bathrooms, and getting a snack and whatnot, that is between 12 to 14 hours total drive. What the hell? Who does this? All right. Now, this is what the they're saying that they're going to use to find out, you know, his whereabouts and did he do this, right? It says evidence that they're going to try to collect cell phone towering pings, GPS navigation apps, Google Maps, Waze, toll booth data, the license plates, the timestamps, license plate readers, gas station cameras, credit card or cash transactions, traffic cameras, vehicle data systems. They're going to use all of that to track him from Illinois down to Ohio, because of course they're going to use this for court because they got to prove that he actually did this. Even though his vehicle, the vehicle that pulled up and the vehicle that left, it registers back to him, but they don't have him as the shooter quite yet. However, we're going to continue. So they're going to be using all of this evidence to try to track him down as the shooter. All right. Now, and it says that he probably took some routes to avoid getting caught. So they got to even detect that too, other routes. So this, you know, it's not going to be a cut and dry. However, Let me continue. Let me show you another video. I hope this is the one that I'm looking for because I definitely want to show you the one where they said that they raided his home. I think it's this one. Press conference. Is this it?
The ex-husband charged him.
No, this is not the press conference. I'm looking for the press conference where they actually said they went into his home and found weapons, and it does track back to him. Okay. I'm gonna be looking for that video, but let's look at his first day in court. Okay, this is after they arrest him and bring him back. All right, here we go. I gotta look for that one because I want y'all to hear the cops talk about how they raided his home.
Going to turn now to the surgeon charged with gunning down his ex-wife and her new husband, a prominent Ohio dentist. Well, he appeared in an Illinois court yesterday and will be transferred to Ohio to face aggravated murder charges. Alex Perez has more for us this morning. Good morning, Alex.
Hey, good morning, Michael. Yeah, the ex-husband is a medical doctor and surgeon. Authorities say they tracked him down after spotting a car near the crime scene on surveillance video.
This morning, Monique Tepe's ex-husband could soon face aggravated murder charges in Ohio. Appearing in Illinois for an extradition hearing, Dr. Michael McKee, investigators say, shot and killed Monique and her second husband, Ohio dentist Spencer Tepe.
Michael McKee.
In shackles and a yellow prison jumpsuit, McKee said little in court, a public defender speaking for him.
Mr. McKee believes that the most expeditious manner.
Public defender, a vascular surgeon, has a public defender. Wow. What the hell?
In which he may defend himself against the charges pending in Ohio. And to plead not guilty would be to waive his right to an extradition hearing and to agree to his immediate transportation to Ohio.
The hearing, less than 2 minutes. Authorities say the 39-year-old vascular surgeon killed the Tepes in the early hours of December 30th at their Columbus, Ohio home. The gruesome discovery made after Spencer Tepe's boss became worried and called police when the dentist didn't show up to work.
He is always on time, and this is very out of character.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't know it was his boss. I thought it was his friend. I thought they said it was his friend. So his boss is the one that called 911. Okay, let's go back.
We can't get in touch with his wife, which is probably the more concerning thing.
A concern
We can't get in touch with him.
to work.
He is always on time, and this is very out of character. And we can't get in touch with his wife, which is probably the more concerning thing.
A concerned friend going to the home where he heard the Tepe's children, a 4-year-old girl and a 1-year-old boy, inside.
I can hear kids inside, and I swear I think I heard one yell, but we can't get in.
The children unharmed. After a massive 10-day manhunt, authorities taking McKee into custody Saturday morning about 400 miles from the crime scene. According to a police affidavit, Ohio investigators tracked a car spotted on surveillance footage before and after the murders, apprehending him in Rockford, Illinois. Divorce documents show Monique and McKee wed in 2015 and split in 2017, citing they were incompatible. They shared no children. McKee lives in this luxury condo building in Chicago. One of his neighbors, stunned.
I sat down with this man and talked to him up at the pool, barbecuing. He did not seem like somebody that would do something like that.
You just never even know who your neighbors are. You know what I'm saying? Damn.
And the ex-husband's public defender says he intends to plead not guilty. If convicted, he could face the death penalty. Guys?
Well, oh Lord, this is crazy to me. This is absolutely crazy. You never know who people are, right? Let me, I know how I can get it. I thought I had all the videos lined up, but I must have put this one somewhere down. I want to show y'all what the authorities in Ohio is saying about Michael McKee's, okay? So let me find it for you, because I do find that one to be a little bit more up to date as to what we know. All right, hold on. I think it's on this.
A patient underwent.
Here it goes. I like her too. I always listen to her. All right, let's hear what they're saying. All right, hold on. I think I found it.
Were taken from Michael McKee's property during his arrest.
Police now presented by law and crime, shot and killed in their own home, just steps away from their young children. Prosecutors now say they know who pulled the trigger: Monique's ex-husband, Michael McKee. Just today, police announced multiple weapons were taken from Michael McKee's property during his arrest. Police now believe one of those was linked to the murders of Spencer and Monique.
We believe at this point, we have the person responsible for the murders of Monique and Spencer Tepe in custody. And that person is Michael McKee.
But who even is Michael McKee? And what was his relationship?
How in the hell you take the weapon? Oh my God. Anyway, I ain't trying to tell y'all how to commit a murder, but who takes the weapon back home? Good Lord.
Like with Monique. Let's start with what the family thinks.
She was always worried about him. We were pretty sure who did this.
If you're interested in cases like this one, we're talking top true crime.
All right, not trying to like block her. If y'all want to follow her scandals, she's a very good blogger, a news person, but we about to skip her right quick. Okay, here we go.
This is still an active and ongoing investigation. Detectives are still going through evidence, tips, and videos. We can't speak to all the specific details related to this case, so we don't want to jeopardize the ultimate goal of conviction. But what we can say, this was a targeted attack. This was a domestic violence related attack. As we know, McKee is the ex-husband of Monique Tepe. We can say that we have the suspect's vehicle on neighborhood video surveillance arriving just before the murders and leaving shortly after.
How do you drive your own vehicle? How do you drive all the way from Illinois to Ohio, commit a double murder, drive back with the weapon and put it in your house? Have y'all see the pattern? This is like 3 that we've talked about in the last 4 or 5 months. People are driving across. One girl flew, right? She flew to Florida, right? From New York. What is going on with these people? Oh, let me just go cross state lines, unalive somebody, come back to my home and think that I'm going to get away with it. What? Oh, my goodness.
Detectives were able to link this vehicle to McKee. The vehicle was located in Rockford, Illinois, and evidence was found that showed McKee in possession of the vehicle before and after the homicides.
Damn.
We can also say that multiple weapons were taken from the property of McKee. And there is a preliminary link from our NIBIN to one of the weapons that ties it to the homicides.
The chief says she can't give us any specifics.
He took the weapon home, y'all. He took it home.
Meaning what type of weapon, how many, or where exactly they were found. She couldn't give us answers about a motive either.
At this time, we cannot comment on the motive. Again, part of the investigation.
And while she blatantly said this was a targeted attack based on a domestic violence incident, there was no recorded history of bad blood between Monique and Michael McKee, at least in the way of police reports.
What I can tell you is that we did not have any reports, or we did not have any information related to any type of incidents regarding the ex-husband.
Which means that the ex-wife, Monique, never filed any type of police report stating domestic violence. So they're not saying that it wasn't no domestic violence. They're saying they have no reports of domestic violence. They have no trace of domestic violence. So if he ever hit her, which he may have, we don't know, but if he ever hit her, she didn't report it, which means that right now they only have emotional abuse. But he could have hit her. She just didn't report it to the authorities. So you have to report these things, right? So in order to have paper trail, because he very well may have physically abused her. We just don't know that.
And Monique.
But in the press conference, police straight up said they have incriminating evidence against Michael McKee, and that's why he's charged in the murders of Monique and Spencer Tepe.
I'd like to present to you Mr. and Mrs. Tepe.
But before she was Mrs. Tepe, she was Mrs. McKee. According to court documents, Monique Frances Sabatursky married Michael David McKee on August 22nd, 2015 in Columbus, Ohio. The marriage didn't last for long, though. The pair separated after just a few months, and in 2017, it was Monique who filed for divorce. Taking a look at this decree, you can see it lists Monique as the plaintiff, meaning she's the one who filed for divorce. And
if you're getting out of a marriage after 7 months, I mean, kudos to Monique. Because a lot of people won't do this, right? A lot of people think they're going to upset their family, their friends. If you have kids, you think, oh my God, I can't do this. If you're, depending on each other financially, you're like, okay, let's try to make it work out. A lot of people don't have enough strength to leave after 7 months. 7 months is a very short time to say deuces to a marriage, right? Some people try to hold out and they wish for the best, and nobody get married and say, I do, just to say, I don't in 7 months, right? So something definitely had to be going on for her to say, I'm out. I am out of here. You understand me? So kudos to her for not trying to hold on to something that she clearly knew that she did not want in her life. Okay, so kudos to her. But unfortunately, this man was bitter. He couldn't let go, and she let go, but he did not. All right, and he tracked her down, and we know what happened next. But let's continue.
Michael as the defendant, meaning he's the one she wanted the divorce from. The documents go on to give us a small look inside of their relationship. They read in part, quote, the parties were married on the 22nd day of August 2015. Defendant is not currently pregnant. The parties have had zero children born as issue of this marriage.
Now let's talk about that for a minute. You got a relationship really that you was only with this person for 7 months, right? I mean, on paper, y'all was together for 2 whole years, but living together only 7 months. You would think after 9 years and you was only married to this person for 7 months, that you have been and got this person out your system, right? They would have been long gone. They would have been not even a thought in your mind. What in the world made Michael hold on to her like that? No children, never pregnant, only 7 months together.
The court documents note that subject matter jurisdiction will be in Ohio. Basically, that means that's where all the divorce proceedings will happen. But it's not actually where they both lived at the time. According to the income affidavit, Michael's employer at the time was Carillion Clinic in Roanoke, Virginia, while Monique worked at Nationwide in Columbus. And just for a peek behind the curtain, it also lays out their incomes for the years surrounding their divorce filing. For Michael, that was $49,000 in 2014, $49,000 again in 2015, and then $51,000 in 2016. As you probably know, before his arrest, Michael was a surgeon, so that's kind of a shocking number. However, he was still in residency at the time of this filing, which, by the way, we're going to talk more about his employment background in just a minute.
So right there, they didn't even live together. They wasn't even under the same dwelling. She was in Ohio and he was in Virginia. That's like 10 hours apart right there. So I'm not quite sure, like, for those 7 months and he was in Virginia and her being in Ohio, I mean, damn, that's not even a long time, but apparently still emotional abuse,
But as for Monique, the court docs state she made $32,000 in 2014, $35,000 in 2015, and $41,000 in 2016. But as far as finances, it seems like everything was pretty equally split. Michael got a 2004 Jeep Grand Cherokee, which the title was already in his and his family's name for. Similarly, Monique got a 2008 Toyota RAV4 that she had before she was even married to Michael. She also got a 2012 Jeep Grand Cherokee that she would then assume the responsibility for paying off. But as far as the rest, it seems like everything was split right down the middle. Each person got their own retirement or pension. They were not required to pay any spousal support, and there weren't even any joint bank accounts. The most dramatic thing in all of the court documents comes from one simple sentence. Plaintiff states that the parties are incompatible. That means Monique wants a divorce simply because she says she's not compatible with Michael. There could be another reason why, but as far as the court docs, that's it. Here's the final decree dated June 16th, 2017. The parties are incompatible, and as such, the wife is entitled to a divorce. It is therefore ordered, adjudged, and decreed The marriage contract existing between husband and wife is hereby terminated, and the parties are hereby released from any obligation of the same, except as set forth in the separation agreement. A decree of divorce is awarded to wife.
I'm going to fast forward that because we already know they got a divorce. Okay, let's go back to the courtroom.
For the new year. There's so many questions about what led up to this.
Okay, so we already know that he went in there, stayed about 2 minutes or so in the courtroom. He got a public defender and he pled not guilty, okay? And he actually asked to not be extradited. He's like, no, I don't want you guys to approve me leaving Illinois and having to go back to Ohio. Well, y'all know that shit didn't work because, you know, it doesn't matter. They found a weapon in his home that matches the weapon that unalived the couple, so they extradited his ass back to Ohio, okay? I'm gonna let's go back to this one right here.
Now, interestingly, the crime scene showed no sign of forced entry, so a robbery gone wrong was ruled out pretty quickly. Meanwhile, investigators found this Nest camera video of a person of interest near the crime scene at the time of the murders. Investigators then used that video and Michael McKee's car to track him down. According to court docs, during the subsequent investigation, detectives were able to identify a suspect.
Y'all remember when I told y'all the other day, right? That when you leave your house, you're being tracked, right? Remember I told y'all that? What did I mean by that? Just because the house that you're in is not picking you up on the camera, as you're walking down, all those cameras, all these houses that have Ring cameras, not saying everybody do, but most of these houses these days have cameras, whether it's Ring camera, whether it's cameras that they put in on their own. This dummy was tracked going back to his own car. His own car. So the cameras picked him up and it led them to his vehicle before the shooting and after the shooting. What's wrong with people? What's wrong with these people?
Neighborhood video surveillance.
Neighborhood. Oh my goodness.
Suspect was tracked to a vehicle which arrived just prior to the homicides and left shortly after the homicides. Detectives were able to identify this vehicle further and link it to Michael McKee. Detectives located the vehicle in Rockford, Illinois, and found evidence of McKee in possession of the vehicle prior to and after the homicides. With that in mind, Michael McKee was charged with 2 counts of aggravated murder with premeditation. And then Michael McKee appeared in Illinois court on Monday.
Can you check the record, Michael McKee?
Michael was in the courtroom for all of 3 minutes, and here's really the gist of what was said.
Your Honor, on behalf of Mr. McKee, I will assert his right to counsel. I will assert his right to remain silent. And Mr. McKee believes that the most expeditious manner in which he may defend himself against the charges pending in Ohio and to plead not guilty would be to waive his right to an extradition hearing and to have a governor's warrant and to agree to his immediate transportation to Ohio.
Understood, thank you. We will set this matter then for 2 o'clock on Monday. For status on the transfer.
Michael was set to appear in court again on Monday, but just this morning, we got word that things had changed. Here's what the court docs say from today. Whereas the court has been informed that the transport of Michael D. McKee to Franklin County, Ohio will not be feasible by Monday, January 19th, 2026, it is hereby ordered as follows. The court date previously set for Monday, January 19th, 2026 at 2 p.m. in courtroom B is stricken. This matter is set for Friday, January 23rd, 2026 at 2 p.m. in courtroom B of the Criminal Justice Center for status on transport. This date shall be stricken if Mr. McKee is no longer in custody of the Winnebago County Sheriff. So that's an update on Michael McKee's status right now. He's being held in Illinois and will soon be transported to Ohio, just TBD on when. But
okay, so he has not been he has not been extradited yet to Ohio, but he will, and they don't know the date. So he's due back in court. Let me see what the date again. He's due back in court. It said the court date previously set for. Okay, so the matter is set for Friday the 23rd. It looked like everybody going to court on the 23rd or the 26th, right? So he sat back in to go to court on the 23rd. And this is to find out if they're going to extradite him, because that's what happens when you are in another state. They have to actually give permission for the marshals to take you back to another state that you committed a crime in. Okay. That could take a while. Sometime I think it takes up to 30 days or so in order to get you back, but they're going to get him back. All right. They're going to get him back. And once he get back, he will be booked and faced his charges in Ohio. Okay. So that's all I'm going to show you on this one right here. You guys, this guy is alleged, honey, highly alleged that he committed the unaliving of his ex-wife that he was divorced from for 9 years, y'all. Let's talk about that. What in the absolute hell would make him do that? Now, they still have to build a case. It's not 100% fact that it's him, but it's more likely than not. They found the weapon, but I'm sure they got to test it and all of that. But they found the weapon that was used in their killing. Okay. Yolanda said he definitely going to jail. Yeah, he definitely going to jail. Glenn said he is going to get extradited to Ohio. He absolutely is. There's too many things that they have right now that shows that he did it, that he is the one that did the shooting. Now, what gets me is, and this right here tells me that he's not even going to try to, well, for right now anyway, that he's not going to go out of his way and try to fight this hard, because he hasn't even got an attorney yet. He has a public defender. So it's almost like I'm not about to go spend a whole lot of money when I know my ass is going to be found not guilty. You know, when I know that I did it, I know they're going to find out, and I'm not going to spend a lot of money. And that's why he has a public defender. That's what I'm thinking. Now, I have been following this young lady right here. I think her name is Ashley. Her shit be too long, but it'd be good as hell. I ain't even gonna lie. I do want to go over a couple of more things before we get into it, but baby, she breaking this case all the way down. It's absolutely insane. So I will tell you, they are looking into other things, because right now they don't have a motive, but in the state of Ohio, you do not have to have a motive to convict. But they said juries don't like it when you don't have a motive, but you do not have to have a motive. She said, you said not guilty. Well, I mean, he hasn't been found guilty yet. He has not been found guilty yet, but I believe that he will be found. You know, I believe he will, you know, from the evidence they have so far, but he hasn't been found not guilty yet because they haven't done anything. I mean, you know, they have not solved the whole case yet, but they said that they have no motive. They do not know why this guy, after 9 years, came back to unalive his ex. They have no motive. It's not like he's paying her spousal support, not like they had kids and she wouldn't let him see his children. They don't know, other than this man never moved on. She moved on, but he did not. That's the only thing that they have. The only thing. Now, of course, they have not figured everything out. I'm sure it's going to take more than one day, right, to figure everything out, because I believe that he's been stalking her. I believe that he has been knowing what's going on between this lady from the time they got a divorce until the time he unalived them. He knew they were married. He knew where they lived. It was no forced entry. This guy probably, and let me tell you something about these keypads, right? These keypad entries, you got to be careful. And let me tell you why. You may not think no one is watching you at all, right? You may not even be wondering who's behind you, who's across the street, who's somewhere in a car with binoculars or anything. And I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just saying that we need to be more cautious of what we do. But when you have these keypad entries, and now I'm talking to myself too, because we have a keypad entry to our garage. So we have to be careful just the same. But when you have these keypad entries to your home, in which they did, you could be pressing buttons and things like that, and people could literally be video recording you. People could be zooming in to see what codes you putting into your door, right? And I'm not saying that's what he did, but what I'm saying is there is no sign of forced entry. So unless somehow he got a key, which how would he do that? Somehow he got into that home and he unalived them and he left. Now, I'm sure this man probably planned a perfect murder that just didn't turn out so perfect. Okay. She said the house was double secured. I don't know. When you say double secured, what do you mean? Like alarm and the keypad? She said, I thought he rented an apartment in their area for 6 months. He did. I don't know about in their area because they lived in a house. So I don't know about in their area. Okay. I don't know about if it happened in their area. He did rent an apartment. Hold on. Let me see. Let me go back to it up here. He did rent an apartment. I don't know if it was in the area, but he was definitely stalking her. He had to be stalking, tracking, but they did say that it was a targeted attack. They did see his vehicle. They recovered the weapon. What police say is a DV related case, but when you say DV is not always physical. So emotional abuse was brought up by the family members. They said that they're going to track his whereabouts from Illinois to Ohio. And even though they don't have a motive, they're trying to build one. And right now they're just saying that basically he just could not move on. He was rejected. She did file for the divorce. She is in the on the paperwork, the divorce paperwork as the petitioner. So that could be possibly a motive, but you don't have to have one, but they're trying to find a motive. There is a GoFundMe out for them to support the children, because I'm pretty sure the children is going to go. So let me find out about the apartment, because I did hear something about the apartment. Hold on one second. Or apartment. All right, let's find that out right quick. And this is going to be ongoing, like before they can find out. So he wasn't living near them. It says he was living and working in Illinois, even though he did have a license in Ohio. But where he lived, well, he lived 79 miles from Chicago, northwest of Chicago. So they're saying in this particular incident, so he didn't live near them. I think we saw something like that yesterday, but he didn't live near them. He have worked in Ohio before, but he didn't live near them. He actually did the crime by driving from Illinois to Ohio that particular day or night or whatnot. So he was living in Chicago area, 79 miles from Chicago, in a city called Rockford, Illinois. He was working there as well. And he literally drove to Ohio to commit this double murder and drove his ass back. Okay, that's what they're saying that happened. All right, let's listen to speculation. Oh, I just read that one. We did the speculation. This is crazy though. Let's listen to what he's saying over here.
Welcome back to our special coverage of the Ohio murder.
All right, let's listen to this one.
Mystery. And if you think that mystery is solved with the arrest of an Illinois surgeon, think again. We know investigators tracked down the suspect through a vehicle, and we assume they have a lot more evidence than they're letting on, much of it likely from the crime scene itself, the gentrified home of Monique and Spencer Tepe. What exactly happened inside that home in the minutes leading up to and right after 3:52 a.m.? That is the exact time that police say the Tepes died, 3:52 a.m. And the fact that police have it that specific, well, that points to evidence that we can only guess at. We do know at least 3 9mm shell casings were found in that house, but
not the actual gun that fired them. We also know there were no signs of forced entry. It's mystifying. How did the killer get in? Was he careful but not careful enough? Did he commit the murders quickly? Or did he toy with his victims given the state of mind a killer might be in? And what about the children in the house? Thank God they weren't physically harmed. But why weren't they? Was it luck or was it deliberate? I'm joined.
Thank you, Rita. Appreciate you, girl. See you tomorrow, honey. Thank you. And thanks for the replays.
Now by someone.
Y'all hit that thumbs up button for me, please. And thank you. Hit that thumbs up.
Who knows how to see the big picture in a murder case like this. Chris McDonough is a retired homicide detective and the director of the Cold Case Foundation. He's also the co-host of The Interview Room. Chris, good to have you back on the show. Thank you for this. First, let's start with the precise time of death. 3:52 a.m. Everybody is asking, how on earth could police know it down to the minute?
Ashley, I think you mentioned that earlier, about today's world that we live in. It's a digital world. And we're not sure right now if there's going to be some type of monitoring devices in that house, i.e. like a baby camera or something to that effect where the children may have been sleeping. And maybe that picked up the gunshots at a particular time.
So somebody just asked, what day did it happen? So they were discovered on December the 30th. December the 30th. It just took them 10 or so days to track down who they are alleging did this crime. So it happened December the 30th, and it just took them 10 to 11 days to find Michael.
Also,
or to track it back to him.
Any of the victims were wearing, probably not this early in the morning, but let's say they were wearing smartwatches, for an example. Those smartwatches, the moment, their heart stops, some of those exercise apps are running in the background. That can also be an indicator.
Oh, shit.
Is it possible that evidence would indicate in the home that someone who is hell-bent on exacting vengeance might decide to toy with victims beforehand? Meaning, it's not enough just to shoot them dead. I need to give you a message beforehand. And if so, what kind of evidence might they find?
Yeah, that's a great question. And let's always remember, he's been thinking about this for at least 10 years. I mean, this just didn't happen. He has been obsessed with this. And so, if there's indication in the wound patterns of potential torture, i.e. what we would call pre-incident behavior, is he keeping the male alive in front of his ex, allegedly if he's our guy, or is he, pushing her to the edge to where he's getting the thrill out of watching her as he's, torturing the male. That will be really interesting when the final autopsy results come out.
Yeah, it just devastates me to think what might have happened before the actual deaths were exacted. One last quick question, and that is, everybody online is asking the same question. No forced entry. So how does an ex, who according to the family had threatened this woman's life, get into that house?
Yeah. My hunch is he used a ruse of some sort. Maybe he, played at the front door with the Ring doorbell. Maybe he was, giving some type of indication that he was needing help. And I suspect that potentially the male was the first one to make contact with him. And depending on the positioning inside of the bedrooms where they were discovered, will give us also a lot of information about how he, particularly pulled it off.
And again, he is innocent until proven guilty. The charges against him are the most serious they can bring with them, the death penalty. Chris McDonough, as always, I love talking to you. Thank you for this.
So, this guy is saying, and he's just an investigator, and he's saying that it could have been that the couple, Spencer and Monique, came to the door and saw, or let's just say Spencer came to the door and saw this white guy saying, "Oh, I need help. I'm in distress. Can you help me?" But then again, I don't know if that would have happened because I'm pretty sure she showed a picture of her ex to him. So I would think that he would know who it is. But I don't know. I don't even know who will open a door at 3 o'clock in the morning in the first damn place, because I damn sure wouldn't. I don't give a damn who you are. You better, I'll call 911 for you, but you're definitely not coming in my house. Unfortunately, you're not, unless I know who you are. But I don't know if that was a good one, because you would think that the new husband know what the ex-husband looked like. And then it's just not safe. You got 2 kids upstairs in the house. It's just not safe. It's just not safe to open your door to help nobody. So I'm thinking that she said he broke in. They haven't found out that he broke in. They say there's no forced entry, Miss Fee. She said he looked like he's been stressed out the whole 9 years. He didn't look like he was at Mo married him. He didn't look like that when Mo married him. Yeah, but Miss Fee, they said that he didn't, there was no signs of forced entry. So how did he break in? How did he break in? I don't know. But I don't know, y'all. But anyway, so as evidence come in, I will continue to update you guys on this story. I think it's sad that somebody just cannot move on. Like, just move on with your life. You know what I'm saying? I just think that it's sad that you would just hold on to any type of rejection or anything after that period of time. But we're seeing that here on social media as well. She said, I didn't know you were live. Okay, no worries. Yes, I'm live. She said he blocked the security system. But if there was sign of entry, though, Miss Fee, they would still see it. Even if he blocked the security system, they would see a lock broke, a door broke, a window broke. There was no sign of forced entry. Yeah, he did unlawfully break in, but they don't know how. So I would love to know myself. And as soon as I found out, I would definitely let you guys know. She said, I think he hacked the security system, but hacking the security system you still would be able to see he broke a door, he forced it open, he broke a window, he came through the window. So they have not put that information out yet. Let me just make sure that information is not out. She said, no, that's not true or more. So you're saying forced entry would not show a sign? Is that what you're saying? I would think so. She said, I think he can decipher the keypad. That's what I'm thinking. Something like that. So it says right now, as of right now, police have not publicly said exactly how he got into the house. They don't know how he got in. No forced entry. There were no signs of forced entry. No broken windows, no broken doors, no obvious damage indicating a break-in. All right. So what the police, they have not identified the way he entered. They do not know as of yet how he entered. But it said an investigator did say that a possible explanation, not saying that this is what it is, that he had prior knowledge of the home, which I don't think so, knowledge of the routine, access to the codes or the habits from the past. So maybe they used the code that they used to use, which I think is crazy because who remember codes from 9 years ago? I don't. Unlocked entry, a surveillance of the home beforehand. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking this man surveillanced them. I'm thinking that he surveillanced them. She said the security system ran off the internet. But when you say the security system, are you saying the security system that automatically locked the doors? So we just got to wait and find out how he got in. And I would definitely let you guys know as I find out how he got in, because I don't know yet, but I would love to know, because I mean, damn, we have, we don't have that on our front door, but we definitely have it on our garage. So I would definitely like to know how that shit happens, because yeah. And I think we all should be concerned at this point of, how you can get into someone's house by just some damn hacking into the locks or whatever. Because if that's the case, like, we all need to do something different, you know? But I do want to give a little bit more information before I say your smartphone, smartwatch, iPad, iPhones, Meta glasses, etc. has tracking capabilities, software, anything digital can track you. Are you talking about that one? Just because they haven't found forced entry, he still entered unlawfully. They are going to track that Joker's phone. I'm trying to, is that a comment? Oh, they have scrambling devices to decode wireless devices. She said the security system ran off the internet. She said a wild theory, what if the ex catfished the husband to have access to the home? Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. But we're gonna find out, y'all. We definitely gonna find out. We're gonna find out how he got in 100%, and then we'll know 100%, okay? But let's listen to a little bit more from I think her name is Ashley.
The proper kind of expert, the kind that holds up in court, right? But also, there's so many other things. Were there any scratches on Dr. McKee? Was there any pitched fight that went on? Were they just shot dead in their beds before they even had a chance to see who it was? All the things that police are looking for, right? They're also probably looking at how you get from Chicago or Rockford, because he worked in Rockford, vehicle was found in Rockford, his fancy apartments in Chicago. If you drive from Chicago or Rockford all the way to Columbus, it's going to take you upwards of 6 hours. I don't know about your fuel efficiency, but I wouldn't be able to get there and back without filling up. Did he stop?
So here's basically she's saying they're going to track his whereabouts all the way from there. And she shows a map. I want y'all to see this. Hold on.
Monique and Michael McKee, who is a vascular surgeon in Rockford, Illinois, were married for less than a year before splitting up and then divorcing 14 months after that. But that was a full decade ago. Their marriage was a blip. It lasted 7 months. And for most of their separation, they lived apart, 2 different states, while Dr. McKee took on a medical residency in Virginia. As I'm sure you know by now, Dr. McKee was arrested Saturday morning in Rockford, Illinois, the city where he works, which is about an hour-and-a-half drive northwest of Chicago. Investigators say they linked him to a vehicle that was captured on surveillance video arriving near the home of Monique and Spencer Tepe in Columbus, Ohio. We've seen this video, but no one has told us yet whether this is him. This is everything that the police released before the actual arrest of Dr. McKee, but they have not said, we've got the skulking character in the back alley. So I'll be curious to find out if this is him. But the vehicle they linked to the doctor appeared shortly before the murders in the vicinity of Mo and Spencer Tepe. And by the way, Mo is the name that she goes by. I know some people are offended if I use the word Mo to connote Monique, but it's the name that she went by. But the vehicle connected to Dr. McKee was also seen leaving the vicinity of Mo and Spencer's house right after the murders. Dr. McKee is now charged with 2 counts of aggravated murder with premeditation. And those charges, of course, just being upgraded from plain old murder this morning before he even showed up in the Illinois court.
So you said, what'd you say? I seen another content creator who was a convict say that's how he got in the house, and he showed the system blocker. It's like a key remote. What? Ooh, we might have to look that up one day. Ooh, God, girl.
Aggravated murder is important. There usually is an underlying other nasty felony like, kidnapping or rape or burglary. Aggravated burglary can get you aggravated murder. And I'm thinking that may be the process by which they got to aggravated murder charges. But aggravated murder makes you eligible for the death penalty in Ohio. Full stop here. Ohio's got a moratorium. They haven't executed anyone since, I think, 2018. I'll check that. But you can still get a conviction on it just in case the moratorium gets lifted. When Dr. McKee was marched into that Illinois court.
Oh, did y'all hear that? So they're saying they have not extradited anyone since 2019. So they have something in place to stop extradition. So they're saying that it would have to be lifted to get him back. That's a little different. So if they don't get him back, do Illinois process him? Or do they just drop it? I'm sure they're not going to drop it. They're going to extradite him back, but they haven't extradited anybody back since 2019.
Room today. You saw it. There he is, yellow jumpsuit, jailhouse scrubs, right? He was shackled at the waist. You can see his hands there. They're like attached to that chain around his waist. Winnebago County does not have fancy clothing in that courthouse or in that jail. This was a really quick appearance. He did not even enter a plea, but he did agree not to fight the transfer back to Columbus. That's called extradition. Sometimes.
Oh, he agreed to not fight it. I thought the public defender said that he did not want it. So she's saying that he did agree not to fight the extradition. So he's like, shit, I don't care. Take me back to Ohio. Damn.
These guys will waive extradition. Sometimes they'll fight it. He's not fighting it. He'll go back to Columbus. In fact, the only thing that Dr. McKee muttered in court today was his name.
Yeah.
Take a look at this.
Can
you for the record, Michael McKee, we had a chance to speak with him.
Yes, Your Honor.
That was it. It was quick.
So he's not fighting the extradition, but she did say something about she wants her client to have the right to remain silent, meaning that she don't really want to put his statement out, I guess, or even get a statement from him.
Nation correspondent Alex Capriello was lucky enough to get a seat inside that courtroom today, and he's live with me now. Okay, just walk me through that very quick appearance and then everything that's outside of the camera view, Alex.
Yeah, super interesting to actually be there in person. Obviously, this was the first time Michael McKee made an appearance in front of a judge, and therefore the first time that we could lay eyes on him other than the mugshot that was posted to the Winnebago County Sheriff's Office. Actually, the first thing I noticed is something that you alluded to in your intro there, which was his size. He seemed huge to me. According to the records from the booking, he's 6'1", 200 pounds, and he looks every single bit of it. I think maybe even the yellow jumpsuit with that deep V-neck makes him look even more hulking. But overall, his personality, his behavior was kind of the opposite of that. He seemed rather timid. He seemed shy. Obviously, he didn't speak all that much other than saying his name, but really very little eye contact, very little emotion coming out of him overall. So while today was not...
So Ms. Fee said either he doesn't care or he did not do it. Who thinks he did not do it? Y'all tell me, do you think he didn't do it?
At a plea hearing, obviously, we heard from that public defender that was appointed to him that he intends to plead not guilty when he does get to Ohio. He recognizes that the easiest and fastest way to move forward for everybody, for himself as defendant, for the people in Winnebago County, for the people in Franklin County, is to waive extradition. So that's what this was all about today. He did not put up a fight. He signed the paperwork. He was out in about 1 minute and 34 seconds by my stopwatch. So you're right. A very, very quick hearing today.
I've heard that this whole extradition process can take under a week. They can even expedite it if the sheriffs agree to all the logistics of getting him from one place to the other. So we may see him in a different color in the coming days when he gets to Columbus. But you know what I'm really curious about, Alex? A guy like this, who is a vascular surgeon, and I've not seen anywhere that he has a wife or children or a family to support. He's just making good money as a vascular surgeon and presumably banking it for years. He's got enough money for a big, expensive lawyer.
Exactly.
Understandably, this isn't the jurisdiction, so the public defender showed up. But did they say anything in this hearing about, Judge, there's going to be another lawyer on the docket soon?
I didn't catch any of that. I didn't put it in my notes, and I listen pretty hard when I'm inside any sort of criminal courtroom. I asked the court administrator about who that was representing.
So y'all think he had an assistant to do it? That he didn't do it on his own? I don't know. How did they find the weapon in his home? And why in the hell is his car down the street from their home?
And that was an executive public defender, so to speak, for Winnebago County that was just there to handle sort of the logistics of what was happening and at least to make contact with the defendant, make sure he understood his constitutional rights and so on and so forth. But I think you bring up a great point in terms of actually retaining counsel, because this is a very high profile surgeon who had a well-paying job and presumably had been doing that for years.
I just keep looking at that mugshot and thinking it's not the same person in the wedding pictures who, Mo Tepe married. It's just so alarming, but I'm sure we'll learn more. Alex Capriello, great work. Thank you for this.
Thanks, Ash.
Okay, as I mentioned, Dr. McKee worked in Rockford, Illinois. That's, hour and a half away from Chicago where he lived. And, Chicago's 80 miles away. That's a heck of a commute, right? But they arrested him in Rockford on a Saturday morning. So I'm still trying to process that. Was he working on a Saturday at the hospital? It's just kind of fascinating. But this is the place where he lives. He lived well. This is a vintage Lincoln Park high-rise, complete with a doorman, a rooftop pool right up there, up high on the top of the building, and just a beautiful view of Lake Michigan there. And his apartment in particular had an incredible view of the lake. So needless to say, all the people who live in that building, the ones who have talked, are pretty shocked to hear of this arrest. Geraldine Polaric lives.
Baby, I don't get it, y'all. I absolutely do not get it. If this man is guilty, this man is freaking insane. You throw away a good life, right? And I'm not just saying money make you have a good life, but I mean, damn, after 9 years of relationship, right? Y'all go on your own way. He just could not let go. He probably stalked her, and we're going to find out more. I don't want to say these things like, and then we come to find out he didn't do it. But, the fact that they did find a weapon at his home and they did find that car linked back to him, that strongly leads me to believe that he did do it. So unless something else comes out that say he didn't, I'm going to believe that he did do it. All right. Peaches said he used all that money to have the ex unalive. So you think he had somebody else do it? I think the Joker did it himself. But we're going to continue to follow this story and find out how in the heck he did it. But once we find out that he did do it, we definitely going to break down why in the hell would he throw his life away over someone that broke up with him 9 years ago. They ain't even have no ties whatsoever. They didn't even fight over the washer and dryer. They didn't even fight over a washer and dryer. He didn't have to pay her spousal support. They didn't have no children together. He made $49,000. She made $50,000. I mean, it was nothing to fight over, nothing to be mad about. You go your way, I go my way. 39 years old. You take off 9 years. He was 30 when they got a divorce. 30 when they got a divorce. Who holds on to something that long and then go and commit a double murder? I don't get it, y'all. I don't get it. And like the guy said, that if he did do it, he thought about this the entire time. He thought about this for freaking 10 years of how he was going to do it, And I'm going to just say this, and this is not to bring up the other case that we're covering, but it was said that he made death threats, right? And it seems like they're going to use that. Those threats that he made previously, they're bringing it back up now. So death threats are not just taken lightly. They're serious, and you have to take heed to that because you never know when someone is going to carry out what they have said. He made plenty of death threats to her, and that is from what her family said. Plenty of death threats. So I would just say, if someone is making death threats to you, you cannot take it lightly. You cannot just push it to the side. Everybody just don't go around handing out death threats. So if they do, take heed to it, because they may just do what they say they was going to do. Some people might say it jokingly, but I don't take it jokingly at all. I would never, ever take someone threatening my life as a joke. A deliberate death threat at that. I would not take it as a joke. Okay? Because she said, watch the layout of their home. Let me see if I can find the layout of their home. The layout. And then I'm gonna of the Tippies home. I'm gonna speak more of it tomorrow because I actually want to go and catch a live that I noticed was set pretty much the same time mine was, and I was like, oh shit. I said I'm not gonna be long because I'm really just getting into this story. This is my first day speaking on it, so we got to continue to peel back the onion of this story. Hold on, I'm gonna look for the house layout right quick, and then we're gonna call it a night, and then I'm gonna go listen to another live. Okay, where are you getting the layout from? I don't see that, Miss Fee, or unless you just put the address in there. She says that's what the ex watched. Google to stalk the new husband. What did he use, Miss Fee? Here, let me drop the link, baby. Come up for a sec. Hold on. Come up for a sec. I want to know what he used. You're saying it's something that he bought from Amazon? Girl, you is child. Come inform us, baby. I just dropped the link. Because whatever it is, they need to stop selling it. They need to stop selling whatever that is. He stalked the husband's Google 100 times. He was mad that she was probably living better than he was living, but she wasn't. She wasn't living better than him. She married a dentist. A dentist does not make what a vascular surgeon. 400 shit. Oh my goodness. Hold on one second, Miss B. It said the income. Hold on. The typical annual salary, 442,000. However, the high range is 700,000. God damn, a year? That's a lot of money. So a dentist ain't making that much money. A dentist is not making between $400,000 and $700,000 a year. Okay, so what did you say they use? Welcome, Miss Fee. How are you, baby?
All right, how you doing, Amora?
I'm good, girl. What the hell they use, girl? You got me. You like what?
It's
What
called
they
a
done bought from
system.
Amazon?
It's called a system blocker.
A system
And
blocker?
yeah, I was watching another content. I'ma send it to somebody so they can send it to you.
Okay.
She tested it out on live, and it was like everything shut off: the security system, the internet service.
So are you saying that system blocker will automatically unlock the doors?
It'll block everything. He had a certain system he had, and I
Yeah.
guess the doors and everything unlocked.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was watching this guy. He was first saying it, then I went to this other lady and she showed it. She showed how he did.
But have they actually said that's exactly what was used, or they're just assuming right now that's what we
Right, they're
use?
assuming, and it's like they're picking around and like the security. They really talking about the cameras all on the side of the house, inside of the house, the sensors that were inside of the house, on the back
So,
doors.
oh wow. So, so, mm, that's interesting. Send me that video. I want to play. You don't have to send it right now, because we're gonna finish it tomorrow. But send it to me. I just want to see it and just see if that's something possible. Because right now the police are saying they don't know what he used to get into that home,
Right.
or what
Yeah.
was used if he did it. Because it's
Mhm.
alleged. But if he did it, what was used to get into that home?
Mhm.
So what do you
Okay.
think about this story? Do you think he did it?
Yeah, I feel like he did it. I feel like he did.
Why you say
Yeah.
that?
Because it was like the brother-in-law them, they was what they were saying, what I got from what they were saying. They knew automatically that he did, the family knew.
Yeah, because they said that he was, I mean, she was terrified of him. She was traumatized by him.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Her family had to escort when she left him. She had to call her family to help her leave.
Mm. And that's
Yep.
probably
She
because
had
he made so many threats to her. But
right.
that's,
He told her if she ever leave him, he was gonna kill her. I mean, care. Sorry.
yeah, no, you good, you good, you good. So, you know, and I think that people need to take heed to that type of stuff. She probably thought that just because she was in another state, she was safe. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, he's not going to drive all the way down here. He's not going to mess with me. I'm in Ohio. He's in Illinois. He's not stunned me. I'm not stunned him. I don't have to worry about him. I'm sure she literally was living her life like she did not have to worry about this man.
Yeah, I think they had some type of sense that this man was stalking them or whatever, because this black guy content creator, he said somebody went to this man's Google, the new husband, and Googled him 100 times or more.
How were
The
they able to
layout,
determine that?
he was able to see the whole layout of the whole neighborhood.
But who was?
The ex-husband.
But how did the black content creator know that he was Googled 100 times?
I don't know. I'm gonna send it to you. He said he went to Google search, because he was curious about the security and stuff himself. So when he went to the Google search, it showed how it spiked up in the last few months, and it was at least 100 times in November.
Okay, so and he's assuming that this guy did it.
Mm-hmm.
But you could tell how many times somebody's name's been Googled.
That's what he was telling. When I send it to you and you watch it, you're gonna be like, wait a minute, they could tell.
Yeah, I want to see that, because that's crazy if so he was stalking them. Do you think that he actually came down to Ohio before and stalked them, and because how the heck did he know where they lived?
Yeah, that's what all that Google search was for. So he could know what area where he can go and sit and watch them. Yeah, I believe he did. Yeah,
That's crazy.
I believe he was right outside their house and they didn't know it.
Probably was. He probably
Mm-hmm.
was. That's crazy, isn't it?
Yep, that's real crazy. Yeah.
Because who dwells on an ex? I know I don't. I don't think twice about it.
Yeah. Yeah, but
That's
I
crazy.
lost a cousin like that, Amora. His wife, she couldn't handle them being divorced and separated. And he felt sorry, my cousin did, for the situation he was in. He felt like they was in the military together. And she felt like that she didn't know nobody. He brought her to Chicago. She was like lost, because she was from Virginia. Well, she had warned us, like throughout the family. She would tell my auntie, she jokingly one day, and my auntie said, that don't kill, K, my son, just leave him if he gets down to something like that. But something happened when my cousin let her back in, and she peeled him while he was asleep, and she sat down on the side of the bed and peeled herself.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's craziness.
Yep. He let her back in his life, and he shouldn't have. Yeah.
Yeah. But in this situation, she didn't have nothing to do with him. They didn't, from what I'm hearing so far, they didn't communicate. They had
They didn't have no communications. Yep.
left each other and no communication whatsoever. So how do you know if a person is still thinking about you?
9 years now. I could understand this lady being mad that my cousin was with over a year separated, but 9 years.
Yeah.
That's a long time to hold a grudge.
But I you know what I think, and I'm gonna say this for the ladies in the audience, not trying to scare nobody, but if someone threatens to unalive you, I think at the very least, especially in a relationship, man, guy, whatever, I mean, girl, man relationship, I think that it should be reported to the authorities. I don't think that you should ever should just ignore it, because at least they would have had some type of paper trail outside of just what the family is saying.
Right.
But this man
Right.
has no record whatsoever. And I wonder, did she do this because she knew he was going to become a doctor and she didn't want to screw him up from being a doctor? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
I don't know if that's the case, but I'm just wondering, like, if she spared him because she didn't want to hurt his career. I just think that you shouldn't take it lightly. I think that you should definitely report it.
Right. You right, Amora. You should report it. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm. Well, yeah. So we're going to continue to follow the case and find out what all they know next or whatever. And then we'll get down to the nitty gritty of how this man got in, when he gets extra, I think it's called extradited back to Ohio. When that happens, and then how they're going to process it. And is he going to plead guilty? They say he planned on pleading not guilty, but I guess we just going to have to see, because right now we have a public defender. Is he going to hire a good lawyer? I mean, we just have to figure it all out. But right now, the only thing we know is they tracked him down with the vehicle. They raided his home. They found the weapon in his house. And they did find out they were married. It was only married a short time. The family has came forth and said she dealt with emotional trauma in the marriage, and he has threatened to take her life plenty of times. But they divorced back in 2017. So that's 9 years ago, and haven't had any contact since then. They don't share no children. They didn't have to split no money, no alimony, no child support. So you would think that it'd just be a clean and dry cut, and that's it. But obviously it didn't work out that way.
He still was holding on. He was watching her. Yeah, he was watching her.
He had to be. And they said that they have tracked down and they have not come up with no woman that he has dated since their divorce.
Oh, wow.
Which is kind of weird, because no person you ain't dated, no, come on.
Right. Yeah.
So I believe, and then they said he had no social media presence, but that does not mean that he wasn't on social media. That just means that he wasn't out on social media. So he probably was stalking her on social media.
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
so
they're gonna find out.
Yeah, they're gonna find out, and I'm all for it. So after I get from the live I'm about to go to, I'm going to listen to Nancy Grace on it, because Nancy Grace don't be holding no bars. She just goes in, and when she targets, she targets. So I'm gonna listen to her on it and find out what what she thinks or whatever, and I'll keep you guys up to date as far as to what I find out about this case.
All right. Okay, Amora.
But thank you for the information. I do appreciate you.
All right, thank you. You're welcome anytime.
Okay, honey. Talk to you soon.
All right.
Okay. All right. So that would be crazy if what Miss Fee said, that you could just go to Amazon and buy a what did she call it? She called it I can't remember what she just called it, but something that allows you to just bypass like a something blocker, but bypass the security, and also be able to literally unlock your damn door. That's pretty freaking scary. So if you have that, I don't know what to tell you. Maybe put a bolt on your door. A system blocker. Thank you so much, Miss Fee. So if a system blocker can unlock your electronic keypads and things of that nature to your door, you may want to get backup security for your home. Okay. because that is crazy. It's the first time I heard of that. You know, I am going to wait until they come out and say that that's what was used, but that is something that we have to keep in the back of our minds. Okay. So, but thanks for letting me know that, because it's absolutely crazy. She said, I've been listening, just been driving too, and it's snowing out here. Great live. Thank you, Kathleen. But be careful driving though. Be careful. But anyway, y'all, I am about to go listen to Real T. She is breaking down, I guess, some things that happened last night between David and another host of another channel. Some things went down, and let me just say this before I get off. I know this don't have anything to do with this case, but apparently Romika family has came out and basically said that she noticed that there are some bloggers that are using Romika's name and photos to cause chaos on their channel, right? Just to draw the crowd. And then when the crowd gets there, they are not even talking about Romika at all, right? Not supporting Romika, not supporting justice for Romika, but they are causing chaos, having all type of drama, toxicity on their channels. And yeah, I find that interesting. And I even found out that the main person, one of the main persons that they were putting all of their coins into, I guess, all their hopes into, they have turned on her. So I'm just like, damn, I did not know that. So I want to catch up on what is going on because I find it interesting. And the reason why I find it interesting is because I actually put it out a couple of months ago. I made a video and I said, she said, who's live talking about it? Real T is talking about it. She, I called her right before here because I saw her thumbnail and she was like, yeah, I'm going to be talking about it tonight. And I said, well, let me get this story out. It won't take that long for this story to be out. It's not going to be no 3 or 4 hour live. So I'm going to come over and I'm just going to sit in the bushes and listen or whatever. But she has evidence or whatever of the sister and another family member saying that they are over the bloggers using Romika's name, Justice for Romika, and Romika's photos just to cause chaos on their channel. So apparently, now I'm gonna tell you the channel name. I don't want to drop the channel only because I don't want to do that no more. I'm not advocating for no one else's channel. Nothing against Real T, but I've done that, been there, done that, and I'm just gonna give you the channel. Excuse me. And you're just gonna have to put it in. I'm sorry, but I'm just not doing that no more because I don't want to be responsible for somebody else trying to get in on the dragging me across the internet by my coochie hairs. Okay, so let me just tell you the channel name, and you guys can type it in yourself. Yeah, I won't say I told you to go follow. Okay, it's called Real T TV. She's live now. Real T TV. All right, Real T TV. But apparently the sister and another family member called out the content creators and basically saying, stop using my family members. This ain't about Romika. Take that photo down. Take it down now. So a couple of content creators got checked last night and told to take the photo down. I heard that the mob went crazy and started blocking people and shit or whatever that had something to say about it. I'm not sure. However, I did hear that the sister checked a couple of content creators and she posted something on her Facebook page saying that they have noticed that some of these content creators are just making mad money off of using Romika's name, using Romika's photos, and they are causing chaos and dragging Holly's baby, and things of that nature. And that is not justice for Romika. Okay, they're just using it because you know what it is. Anyway, I'm about to go listen because I didn't get all the tea. I only got a little bit of it because I had to run my own live. So thumbs up this video, and y'all, I'm going on a field trip. She's at Facebook or YouTube. It is on YouTube playing right now on YouTube. Real T TV on YouTube. Okay. So that's where I'm headed right now because I just want to hear what the hell happened and how did the Justice for Romika turned so toxic and sour, and the family is definitely noticing it. Okay, everybody and their mama want to jump on the bandwagon and use that as an excuse to drag other people, and the family is saying, nah, So anyway, I'm about to go look. She said, you know, we going, but we'll be respectful. Yeah. So that's why I'm not dropping no links, because I don't want to go there no more. I'm not doing that no more. So anyway, let me give you guys a thanks for blessing this live. Y'all met my goal for me, like within 10 minutes of this video. So I do appreciate you guys so very much. So thank you, S. Gum, Sweet Tea, Rachel, Queenie. Thank you, girl. K. Kim's, Candy Girl, Rita M, Barbara King, Bonita Spears, The Real MF, Tender Teaser. Did I say that right? Yeah. And Troy Parks, and my girl Barbara Clarks, Joanne, Lady V. And thank you so much for 26 months, Lady V. Inga. Thank you, Binky Bink and Virginia. Okay. So thank you guys so very much. That's where I will be for the rest of the evening, unless some real good tea gets spilled and I want to come back over here. She said, wait a minute, if a story, anyone can cover it. Hell, Nancy Grace make millions from stories. What do you mean? She said, wait a minute, if it's a story, anyone can cover it. Yeah, you're right, Shelly. Anyone can cover it, but what they've been doing, they're not just covering the story. They're putting up the title Justice for Rameek, or using the photo to bring attention. But then when the live starts, there is something totally different. You know what I'm saying? They're dragging another content creator. They're cussing people out on their panels. It's just, they're breaking down someone else. So it's not about a Justice for Rameek is what they're saying. So they're saying that they're using the name Justice for Rameek and the photos to lure people, but they're doing it to cause chaos. It's not being used for what they're saying is being used. And I know for a fact, I've seen it done several times. So I know that you guys have too. So, but you're right. No one can stop you from covering someone, but the family is getting upset that Romika photos and name is being used for drama. You know what I mean? But anyway, but thank y'all for stepping in, for checking out this video. If you came in late, hit that replay, but hit that thumbs up button and your girl is out. Okay. Talk to y'all later. Bye.
Because they can't make $1 without mentioning now one of our names.
Jay!
She kept talking about that family.
Hoes over there.
She kept talking about that family. 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 That family. She kept talking about that family. Talking about that family.
These motherfuckers don't be want to listen.
Because they can't make $1 without mentioning now one of our